Hey guys, it's Youngman here back with another video, and today we're talking about DungeonSwap. But this isn't one of my normal tutorial videos. This is going to be what I think about the project personally at the moment and where I think it's going. Now, because this is more of an opinionated video, it's not going to have the same kind of structure as my normal videos. So I'm just going to be talking about a couple of things that I think are important to the game, and you know where it went wrong and where it's going well. So the game launched about a week ago on the 30th, I believe, and the launch really was not great. For several reasons, really, and I think one of the biggest ones was that the information was not clear on launch. People did not understand their win rates on launch. People didn't understand what the gear did on launch. No one really understood anything on launch, and the game was really, really confusing. And that led to a lot of people losing quite a bit of money really quickly because it was confusing, and then immediately writing the whole project off as kind of scammy. Now, I think there's two parties to blame here. Yes, the dev team definitely should have made the game clearer on launch, like the special NFT boost, like 200%. People just didn't understand, and they assumed it was their win rate plus this 200%. So say if you had like a 50% win rate, if you times it, like 200% of 50 is 100%, so you should win that battle every time. That's not how it was calculated, but that was the easiest conclusion to draw. So people assumed they were losing fights where they had like a 97, 98% win rate when they actually had closer to a 60% win rate. Now, the devs have updated this so that it shows you your chance to win every time, and it'll show you where you landed on that kind of random number wheel. But the initial damage was definitely already done. It put a lot of people off the project really quickly. I think another one is the NFTs. The NFTs, because of the cap and the way it works, are only useful to a point. So if you have full 3 stars and it hits the max boost, there's nothing else you can actually do. So say if you have max 3 stars and you hit the max boost, and then you switch them all out to 3 stars that counter the enemy as well, it doesn't do anything on top of that, I believe. So there's only so strong you can get, and I think a lot of people are annoyed by this, because the point of kind of dungeon crawlers and things like that is you can get very strong where you can just run through the first enemies, and then it feels like you're progressively getting stronger over time. But with the way the NFT boosting works, it kind of felt like you would just hit a wall, and then nothing else you would do would matter, and it was just kind of down to rolling a dice at that point. There was only so strong you could get. So that was definitely an issue for some people. And I think also, regarding the NFTs, the NFT drop rates are just odd. So the earlier level items are easier to get than, are harder to get, sorry, than the late level items. Which I really don't understand, and I don't think makes sense. I feel like the NFT drop rate should be going down over time rather than going up over time. Especially for me, there is no point in the 2-star weaponry, because the 3-star is just easier to get. Like, I maybe have 4 or 5 2-star weapons, whereas I have upwards of like 25 3-stars because of just the way the drop rates work. Because you're getting up to like a 60% drop rate on like level 8 and things like that, whereas on level 1, it's like a 5% drop rate. So that really does not make sense to me on why it's built like that. Maybe some more utility needs to be added to the earlier drops, because at the moment, they are incredibly useless, I think. the earlier level drops. So I think some tuning needs to be done with the NFT drop rate, because at the moment it's just not working. A lot of the NFTs are just straight up useless. Now, maybe when the Smithy comes out, this will be a little bit more useful, because you can grind them down, but even then, I feel something needs to be done about the early NFT drops, because as of now, they're basically useless. But on a positive note, I do think the game is incredibly fun. I think it has solid mechanics. I do like the idea of the risk versus reward, but I do feel it could be toned down a bit. So maybe you don't risk everything when you lose. You take a percentage. So I had an idea of, in the dungeon, kind of like if you've seen that show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. On every couple of questions of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, there is like a checkpoint. And then if you fail from this checkpoint, if you fail after that checkpoint, sorry, you will get the reward from that checkpoint. So say if there was a reward at 3, 6, and maybe not 9, because then you could go for the jackpot every time. But I'm sure the dev could work it out. Something around those lines. Maybe actually just 4 and 8. So say if you make it to 4, and then you go and play 5 and 6, and you lose on 6, you would get the reward from stage 4. Now, again, I don't know how this would work in terms of game economy, but I think something like that, like checkpoints in the dungeon, would be something that people would enjoy. Now, the dev is taking steps in terms of improving the game, because they're adding relics, which basically allow you to enter the dungeon for free and claim some rewards if you lost and things like that. So they're definitely taking steps in that right direction, and I really, really like that the dev is listening to the community and moving forward with it. Because at the end of the day, the dev can make the game they want to make, but if the community does not enjoy it, there's no point making it, you know? So I think that's really, really good that the dev's willing to listen and is happy to take advice from the community on what they want to see. A quick nitbit about sound effects and animations. The animations at the moment are a little bit wonky, I'm not going to lie. And I think some sound effects would be nice. Even like something simple, like a little fanfare when you win. A little, I don't know, death sound effect when you lose. Just like little simple things, because it can be a bit quiet playing the game, and I think just like a little bit more interaction to immerse you in that world. Just something like that I think would be nice. I think also more monsters need to be added. There is a huge prevalence on fire type monsters at the moment, and it means lightning and kind of water are really, really important early on. So when you rush those out, your gear gets so much stronger. So I think a lot more weapons need to be added, so we can have a lot more type advantages, and also a lot more monsters need to be added. That's what I'm thinking about the kind of early level monsters. I think you can add more early level monsters that drop specific types of gear, so that they would be more useful. So it can be a rarer gear drop if it's a rarer element, and I think that could be okay for the early levels. This isn't really to do with the game itself, but this is to do with the project as a whole. The staking rewards and the liquidity rewards are really, really good. I recommend if people have D&D sitting in their wallet, that they don't have it sitting in their wallet, that they have it staking, at least. Because there's just no reason not to be claiming these rewards. It's literally just free money. It costs you nothing and you just get returns. It's really, really good, actually. So if you are not staking your D&D, be sure you are. If you want a tutorial on how to do that, I do have it on my channel. I will link it in the top right. So I think that's kind of my pros and cons of the concept and the game at the moment. Overall, I think it was an okay launch, and I think that it is good that the dev is learning from it. The dev clearly cares about the project, and the fact that they are willing to go so far for the community and overhaul their own system that they have been designing, I think is incredible. And it really impressed me with the dev, how quickly they are willing to listen to the community and follow community guides, which I think is really, really great. In terms of the community as a whole, I think a lot of people in the community are really enjoying this game, and a lot of people are really building on the strategy of this game, coming up with new things and stuff like that, and I think that is absolutely great. In terms of the future of this game, I can really see it taking off. I think the concept is great, it just needs some stopgaps. So the idea of risk versus reward, I think, is a really great concept, and I don't think it should be completely removed. I think, again, a system like I said, like the checkpoints, like the kind of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire checkpoints, or something similar, or again, the relics are being added. So I think there's a lot of things that can be done. There's also so many ideas you can do with this concept. It's so open-ended. There's so many things that the dev can add that this project really, really can grow. It has so many avenues it can tap into. It has so many things it can do. PvP, weekly dungeons, daily challenges, all these things. The game has only been, out for a week. And it's already in a, it's a decent state. This project has been live since, I think, late April, early May. And this is what they've been able to put out so far. So I am incredibly excited to see what comes next. I think the dev is learning from the kind of mistakes that happened at launch and is willing to learn from them. And I think the project is going to get a lot better. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you did make it to the end, thank you so much. I know this isn't normally like my kind of structured videos, but if you did enjoy, like and subscribe would be great. I cover all sorts of crypto games, NFT games, all stuff like that. So, till next time, I'll see you soon.